Welcome to Hotspot, the first edition of the show once the World 2020 has now got underway, and I'm joined by Chetan Narula, who has now made it safely out to Bangladesh. Hello, Chetan.
Hello, John. Hello from Dhaka to all our viewers on Hotspot.
And we're posting a few of your photos on Cricket World. You've been tweeting for us once you've been out there, but just give us your first sort of impressions, maybe a quick flavour of Bangladesh since you've arrived.
Well, first of all, this is you can see this. This is the T20 World Cup 2014. This graffiti. I mean, this design, this particular graffiti is all over the city. It hits you I posted a couple of pictures from the airport. It hits you throughout. When you're traversing throughout Dhaka and all. First impressions, of course, not too different from India. Obviously, this was part of the same country till 1971, but a little more traffic, a little more population, and the traffic jams just sometimes get on your nerves, but nothing that cannot be handled because the cricket is going to start from tomorrow, and once that gets underway, everything else loses our focus.
Now the main tournament, of course, gets underway today. We've had the qualifying, or one of the groups has just about finished. Group B finishing tomorrow with the qualifiers. I thought it got off to a little bit of a sluggish start with two very one-sided games, but since then we've actually seen some pretty good cricket. Bangladesh and Ireland, though, have really made their mark as the best two teams that we've seen so far. Would you agree with that from the qualifying stage?
Well, John, I was just checking the Twitter feed, and Nepal have beaten Afghanistan, so they still have a mathematical chance if Bangladesh somehow managed to lose to Hong Kong. But I'm telling you, no one's. There are quite a few people around me, and I need to go back alive. So yes, Bangladesh should stay in the tournament, and they should because people here are very passionate about cricket. They know their cricket a lot. They know their technicalities. They know their favorite players. I mean, even like I tweeted yesterday, I mean, our viewers should check out the pictures on the Cricket World Twitter feed. There were quite a few people buying tickets for the warm-up matches. So I'll be getting in early tomorrow and try to get some views of outside the ground because tomorrow's India Pakistan and it's a blockbuster match in any part of the world, especially in Bangladesh because Bangladesh has history with both India and Pakistan. So it's going to be a cracker of a game, and it's been that sort of a build-up, yes. But apart from that, yes, Bangladesh. I hope they win tonight. Not just saying because I want to stay alive, but also the fact that they'll have some momentum going into the rest of the tournament. It's a very, very interesting group: Australia, West Indies, Pakistan, India, and then Bangladesh. So Bangladesh, given the format, it's a big equalizer of this format, and it could just, maybe this a recipe of one or two upsets. Maybe you never know. I mean, it can happen. Slower pitches, a couple of overs, it can change the T20 format. So, like I said, this format is a great equalizer of teams. So. Bangladesh will be looking to make things very interesting in this particular group, which is already a very, very tight group with the defending champions, dark horses, perennial favorites, and my personal favorite Australia in this particular group. So talking about Ireland, yes, it is no surprise. I mean, we had discussed that before, Ireland and Zimbabwe. I had always gone for Ireland to qualify from that group, although it was important for Zimbabwe to get ahead as well. But sadly for them, it didn't really happen when they lost that very, very thrilling finish with Ireland. In fact, like I said, that's what T20 is. I mean, Bangladesh could be doing that to Pakistan or India or Australia. We don't know, and Ireland could be doing that to New Zealand or Sri Lanka or maybe South Africa, maybe England. We don't know because obviously England have already tasted defeat once. I'm not reminding you again and again of that, but it's just that I was there when Ireland won that match and 50 over game. It was brilliant. Kevin O'Brien was brilliant. He could really do that again, on these sort of pitches. So they know these conditions. So Bangladesh and Ireland, no surprises there. And what this has done is to really, yes, they are the minnows. They are these, minnows in the sense that okay, Bangladesh have been inconsistent. Ireland are still an associate nation, no full ODI status or no full test status for them, but they are quality sides, which, like I said, the format is an equalizer. Given their chances, they could really bring an upset. So it's not going to be India versus Kenya or India versus Nepal, India versus Afghanistan. It's going to be India, Bangladesh, or South Africa, Ireland. And these matches have the potential of an upset. So I think we're going to have a very, very good Super 10 stage.
Absolutely, and We've had plenty of warm-up. Well, I say plenty. We've had a few warm-up games already. Most of the teams will have played 1 or 2 games before they get underway in the main tournament. Interesting to see that Sri Lanka took on the West Indies yesterday. You were there, and the game, or the result, if not the game, was almost identical to the outcome 2 years ago in Sri Lanka in the final. And then, of course, India beating England, some important innings there for Suresh Raina and Virat Kohli to get into some form. Pakistan dismissed for 71 against South Africa. So what have you made of the warm-ups, maybe just particularly focusing on the two that you saw yesterday? Anything that you can really pick out?
Well, Sri Lanka should not be very disappointed with their loss yesterday because Lasat Malinga wasn't playing and they had West Indies in a bit of a jam before Darren Sammy came in. When Lasat Malinga will be there, he'll be bowling the last 3 overs because the newfound pace attack. They bowl the 6 overs, get the spinners on. Malinga's maybe 1 over early on, but then the last 3 overs in the end. So it's not going to be that easy to just go from 120 to 170 against Sri Lanka in a flash. That's for sure. Apart from that, I think West Indies fielding was a bit of a dampener. I think they were still in the party mood, just trying to, still in the warm-up mood. But I think they will get serious defending champions. I'm liking their jersey a lot. It's a blue one. It's a little bit retro. Talking about jerseys, really, England have
you can't miss them.
Yeah, yeah. You can't really. Probably people from Pluto won't miss them. It's too bright. It's just too bright. That solar red. Yes, England like red. We get that, but this is just too bright. It's actually good that they don't play with pink balls because I'm totally gotten lost. But apart from the jerseys, I think England are missing that element, that flavor we had discussed in the previews, and that is something in the form of Kevin Peterson. But I think Chris Jordan has been very, very impressive. Saw him in the T20 in West Indies. Saw him there yesterday. Magnificent catch, good bowling figures. I'm sure he can hit the ball a bit as well. So magnificent player, one to keep an eye out for, but not enough for England to really push through. To beat sides like Sri Lanka, like I said, no Lasat Malinga, to beat sides like Sri Lanka, South Africa, New Zealand, even Ireland. They need that extra flavor. In the first warm-up games, there were not too many sixes there, so Ian Morgan was defending that, you win matches with boundaries. It's a poor excuse. You have to hit sixes in T20 cricket. You just cannot hit boundaries. But looking at the Indian batting, Virat Kohli scored 74 of 48 balls. He did not hit a six. Still a strike rate of 150. So theoretically, yes, it does work, but you're talking about when you're missing a big flavor from the English side. So in that sense, you have to take on the situation as it comes in. England really needs somebody who can give, like they have Michael Long at the top, and I think he's a good, belligerent player at the top. But they need somebody to support more, even Morgan there. So you need that belligerence in the middle. So if all comes together, maybe England can push. But it's a big maybe at the moment. This team is, John, it's looking very disjointed, if I can say so. It's been put together in a hurried manner, and you do not win tournaments like that. Moving on to India. Virat Kohli got some runs, Raina got some runs, Raina's taking wickets, Yuvraj got some runs in the first match. A bit of a disappointment that Ajinkya Rahane doesn't seem to be in the plans for India because I think he's a better T20 opener than Rohit Sharma is. And I'm not sure how many matches Rohit Sharma has if he keeps failing like this. But India will want some better starts because their batting is what carries them. And their bowling is a bit of a worry, as pointed out by my MS Dhoni in the press conference today. Big match coming up, big first match. As I pointed out, they finished their league games before any other team does, so they really need to get off to a winning start. Big match coming up tomorrow.
Well, let's look ahead to that game, Chetan. Big match coming up tomorrow. India-Pakistan. What a fantastic way to really get the tournament off to a start. India, I suppose they will take some confidence from yesterday's win over England, whereas Pakistan, as I mentioned before, they were bowled out for just 71 against South Africa. But 2020, that can happen, and I think I'm right in saying that South Africa, the only team never to have completed an innings with less than 100 runs on the board in 2020 international cricket. So I suppose they'll be hoping they can just say, well, that was one of those days. Thank goodness it didn't happen against India, and looking to revive the sort of form they showed towards the end of the Asia Cup.
Well, John, the thing about warm-ups, what I have noticed, I've seen 2 matches, 4 teams play the warm-ups, and I can tell you the intensity is not there. It's lacking. It's the players are out there. They're just trying to get their foot movement right, just trying to get some runs under the belt. obviously Pakistan batsmen would have wanted runs under their belt as well. They had a narrow win over New Zealand, but the fact of the matter is, that um, it doesn't really count up to a lot. South Africa used 9 bowlers. Dale Steyn was missing, Faf du Plessis was missing, so it doesn't really count a lot for that. Also would like to mention that Australia and New Zealand played a small 5-over game, and Pakistan and South Africa practiced for the super over after their practice game. So um, they have put in that extra practice over there. Coming to tomorrow's match, yes, not an ideal preparation for Pakistan. Not sure how ideal it has been for India as well, but it's a match which is really made for the opening clash of the business end of the tournament, the Super 10 stage. It's really a match which will give momentum to this tournament. Whatever the result be it India, be it in Pakistan, be it a super over finish, or whatever it is, it will give really, really great momentum, and that is something I think which this tournament needs now, because obviously Bangladesh and Ireland have qualified, but that flavor was a little bit missing, which will come tomorrow when that clash happens. Um, and once that happens, the fans in this country love cricket so much that they'll just grasp that energy, and I think that's what everyone is looking forward to. The ICC could have scheduled it better if they had tried. India Pakistan opening. Talking a little bit more about the match, the pitch, well, the same ground in Mirpur where they met for the Asia Cup, the boundary are the same, smallish boundaries. We're hoping it's going to be a slowish pitch, so both teams will be looking to deploy their spinners, and as always, it's going to be a contest between India's batting and Pakistan's bowling, and the two captains were actually talking about this today as well.
I think we can expect a superb atmosphere as sort of watching some of the games in Bangladesh. A wonderful atmosphere, crowd really getting behind their home side. But India-Pakistan games always have their own sort of atmosphere, very special. But to finish off, Chetan, I'm going to, whether it's a waste of time, I'm going to ask you for a prediction.
Well, for tomorrow's game, I think it's a little equal at the moment, and like I said, it's both captains pointing out different things. Indian captain MS Dhoni talking about how his batting is a little bit strong, and if they bat well and bowl in the death overs, it's going to be no concern at all. I think there's no other concern for the Indian team. I'll be tweeting shortly on the Cricket World Twitter handle, and viewers can just grab the snippets of those press conference. The Pakistan captain, obviously, he was more focused on his side. He was very happy that Shahid Afridi is in a bit of form. They ideally want him to bat in the lower order, but he could also be used as a floater. He's happy with his bowling combination. He's happy with his batting combination. So Pakistan are happy. India want to be happy if their batting clicks. And, it's a battle of ifs at the moment. And because India have had such a poor run, and there are too many ifs according for them, I would go for Pakistan in this encounter. It's a must-win encounter for India, but looking at everything, all the variables, I would say Pakistan. But again, it's India-Pakistan. It's very volatile. Pakistan all out for 71. Anything can happen, but I would say Pakistan are maybe 60-40 favorites for tomorrow.
Good stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Pakistan as well. As you know, I'm tipping them to go very, very well in this tournament, indeed. So that's all we're going to have time for in this hotspot. Now, Chetan, you've got to shoot off before the press box closes. I don't want you to miss your bus back to your hotel. So thank you for your time today.
Absolutely, pleasure, John. It's going to be 3 hours back to the hotel, so looking forward to enjoying the traffic.
Good stuff, and thank you very much for watching. Do remember to subscribe to our channel. Plenty more hotspots throughout the tournament. We'll be catching up with Chetan again in a couple of days' time. News videos every weekday, of course, after major games, and some exclusive interviews coming up as well. So thank you very much for watching. And from Chetan and from myself today, it is goodbye, and I hope you can join us again soon.